Hello and welcome, as it is the 7th of June 2017. My name is Derek. Let's take a look at some of the charts that I have seen today, starting off within Bitcoin, which is in a downtrend right now. It's also in an uptrend, and I could probably draw several different uptrend lines, but this one is just broken to the downside. We can see here panic. I'm kidding. I'm kidding on the panic. That's sarcasm. But it's a situation in which you've had this run on the 5th, spanning into the 6th, going from about 25.50 bases up to 29 and a quarter. So a gain of over 15 or so percent. And since then, what's occurred? The first price correction, profit taking down to 27. Quick correction back up, not quite to the high. The support level has been taken out, but it's just been managing lower highs, lower lows, and well, again, it's still in this correctionary range. You can say anything short term between 27 and 29 and a quarter would be considered neutral. Breaking north of 29 and a quarter, once again, new all-time highs. We'll see where the next leg takes us up to. And then breaking first down below these key levels in the 27 range, well, 27.50 up to 28 range rather, is a move down to this previous low. And then breaking down below the low, if that occurs, about 25.50 was the last place in which it came from. Let's take a look at some other charts. Ethereum on both the daily and the hourly time frames. This is the cross against the Bitcoin. And since this last move higher, or from this move higher, there's the gain, there's the correctionary phase. And notice what happens as it gets closer to previous resistance, green candle bigger. As it breaks previous resistance, big candle even bigger than that. So what does that tell us? Oh, as it approaches back up to the near the 11% handle, it'll get a bit bigger than where it's going to break out from. And then breaking 11% into the 12, 13%, who knows how much higher, well, bigger green candle than what preceded it. We look at it on a short-term time frame. Interesting patterns, to say the least, when we look at the bottom right within the hourly time frame. You can make this trend line, and this almost a straight line, but technically a little down, or this straight line somewhere around here, regardless of the fact it's near the upper end of that range, and a break above the 95 handle. You would think short term would test the in here at least, which would translate to a green size candle move up to about here or so on this chart. Next up is CPC Capricoin. And this one I was actually talking about before in here on the breakout. And sure enough, it continued its move, and it's been in a wild correctionary phase. And accumulating on the way down. Anyone who does so in markets like this, well, how happy are you now? If you know markets going down are just going to go back up, well, if you're right, and with these markets, most of the time you will be, you'll get some profits. Furthermore, in these situations, sometimes the corrections are fast. Sometimes they can take a while. This one, of course, it took a little while, but obviously markets moving higher. When you have a situation like this, then this gives you very reliable up target calculations. And I'll bring up my calculator, and this was actually Ripple. I'm going to talk about this one really soon, where I'm going to be talking about a buy order. Yes, a buy order, and at 5,000 Satoshi. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the data we're looking for in here. 35 is the high, and you know what, we'll do 15 as the low. So the breakout, I'm looking to go up to about six. So 60,000 Satoshi would be where I would think on a break above this level. That's where it'll go. Now let's take a look at Ripple and show you why I like the buy order at 5 at this point. This is a daily chart for it, and in logarithmic fashion, coming basically from the abyss at the start of March after this horrendous downtrend, have this extreme move to the upside, correctionary phase, extreme move to the upside, and so far correctionary phase. Another leg lower. Well, the key Fibonacci point 5,000. And also, where did it last come from? Buy order there, sell order. I'll double up 10,000 because that's where it was. Well, that's where it's now. So on the way up, where would it be coming from? Well, the 10 number. Next up is ARK, as I've just found a way to quickly copy the charts on Bittrex. As you push the share button, and then the photo image is easily captured. Anyway, within this chart, in April, nice move higher. Remember I talked about the very long correctionary phases? Yeah. Here's one right there. Well, let's just see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days in a row. It was boring holding this the entire time, which I have been, and it's been sweet seeing that it's been giving me some gains, profit taking a little bit, but it's overextended. But is it really? I mean, it's now just barely breaking resistance. So why didn't it stop going up here? It's still going higher. So 2, 3, 4 more in a row wouldn't surprise me, or at least further extended upside action. But at some point, I'm going to be looking for it to come back to where it came from. This is where it came from here. LSK on the 3-day chart, after this long downtrend, the trend has changed with this high coming back down, making the higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and well, definitely now a higher high. And in the situation of where it came from, let's next take a look at DGB on the weekly time frame. And well, that was a long down correction, but things have changed. The uptrend, a small sideways consolidation. Not a small uptrend. Extreme uptrend. I could never ever get into this. In fact, I barely got into it. Barely, not even really. This is when I say when markets get overextended and they have the potential to go extreme because, well, if there's spots where buyers are still willing to come in and, well, there's a lack of sellers and those sort of fundamentals, well, yeah, the markets will keep going, and overextended markets can become even more overextended. But they'll usually pull back, and where it came from was here. And if this thing like goes up like 6 more huge candles, and maybe it might not go down this shallow on its next correction, but it's gonna have a decent correction at some point. Take care.